everybody. We are not in the usual places that I tend to do this from. I'm always seem to be by a fridge, but this is a friend's fridge. I'm not in Melbourne. I am with this extraordinary woman who I'm going to introduce you to in a moment. But before I do so, I just wanted to welcome everybody. And I'm on a different land this time. I'm actually on Gadigal land, and I wanted to pay my respects to elders past, present, emerging. And to take a moment, I'm obviously, whenever I'm with this person who you're about to meet, I get like ridiculously excited. Like I still am a bit of a fanboy about this.
Oh,
but the wonderful thing about when I just have that moment to acknowledge that for so many thousands of years, people have sung their songs and danced their dances, told their stories on this land. And I am here today to talk to one of the most wonderful storytellers through music, and to remind myself that this is part of a tradition that has been here for many, many thousands of years, that sovereignty was never ceded. It always was, always will be Aboriginal land. And we pay our respects. So, and with that, I get to introduce my wonderful friend. It's been many years that I have been working with Australia's own Paulini!
Yes, we are friends. Yes.
Yes, we are.
Oh, hi guys.
Yeah.
How are you all? I hope you're all well.
Yes,
I'm
hello
very
everyone
excited.
in Tasmania. Hello everybody who's going to come down to Tasmania. And this is just a small moment because I know that festivals can be unwieldy. I know that that you look at the festival program and you go, there's so many things, and we're so excited that Paulini gets to come and work with us. Some of you in Lutruwita may not know that Paulini, like you probably know, different people probably know you, I guess, from different parts of your career.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
might know you from where it all began on Australian Idol,
Yeah.
or your kind of corporate work, or the kind of work you do in pop music, or you're being in a jungle. I mean, there's so many things. And
I forget about that.
I know.
Actually forget about that.
There's
But
so
I've done other, like other shows, but yeah.
But people may not know you as a
they may
music
not-
theatre person.
That's right. I think that's the biggest area where people wouldn't kind of. I mean, I've done,
And where did it come? Well, then tell us a bit, because we'll get back to all those fabulous things. But
Yes.
like in terms of music theatre, where did was come into your life? Because was it always something you wanted to do? Or?
I always wanted to kind of tap into it. I have to be honest, it wasn't something that I thought I would ever kind of get into in the beginning of my career, because I was always like, oh, this is something, I've never done any acting lessons. I've never really taken any vocal training. I've never had any vocal training. So, all dancing.
Yeah, of course.
I've never danced.
It's a triple discipline.
That's right, and that kind of scared me. So I was always like, oh, I'm probably never going to be good at doing musical theatres. Musicals.
Yeah.
And so I kind of stayed away from it. But then I did, when the opportunity came, and I knew that Bodyguard was coming. Bodyguard, which is,
Okay, I don't know if you saw Bodyguard, but obviously, let me just do a little précis here. So Bodyguard uses the music of Whitney Houston to tell the story that was in the film. So it's the film story, all of that great story, but with the music of Whitney Houston. Like, how many songs did you sing that night?
14 songs. And, Whitney, those songs are insane. They start here and they just keep going up. Yeah. But I basically grew up listening to Whitney Houston. She was my inspiration, really.
Yeah. That's kind of a nice way to get into music theatre then. When you
Yeah.
go, I kind of know the
songs,
music.
Yeah.
So
And I'm a massive fan. And when they did, decide to bring Bodyguard over to Australia, I was like, oh my gosh, I'd love to audition for it. And we even before that though, we had been working together, right? And I'd auditioned for a few things and didn't quite get it, but it's okay.
Well, I mean, and that's kind of amazing to hear as well, because you just assume that if Paulini walks into a room, she gets the role.
Yeah.
But even at Paulini's level, you don't get everything.
No.
There's.
Oh, I still audition now and don't get the roles that I kind of would love to get. But it's okay.
And sometimes that's about type more
That's
than
right.
not talent
That's
necessarily.
Right. Yeah, and so it's a great learning curve. I've learnt so much doing these auditions. But going back to Bodyguard.
Yeah. So for somebody who, like, that's real singing, acting and dancing together.
Oh my God, it was insane. I have to, like, the first 3 weeks of rehearsal, I was like, I don't think, you know this, I had a few conversations where I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, this is too much work for me. I just didn't have the training behind it to kind of, like in my head, I was like, I can't do this role because I just don't have the training. I don't have the experience. It was scary.
Of course.
But because, we worked together throughout that whole experience, that whole journey, and
So we were working together as sort of acting coach, I guess we'd call it, at that time.
Tyron is my acting coach and he's amazing. Just say it.
You should see, she sings in my apartment and it's just like, hello.
And everyone's like, shut up.
But they're interesting, I mean, I think even that's interesting for people to go, it's not like you even just got the role and stopped working. Like you were working and continue to work as an actor because, as you say, you probably come to this art form as singer first.
Yes,
and we all
absolutely.
come from different spaces. You know, some people who will become to the festival are dancers first. But you danced in that show as well.
I danced like I've never danced before. It was scary. Like I said before, but I guess the team around me were great, and I got to work with Amy Campbell on that, and it was, and we went through all of the scripts together, and I built up the confidence to be able to just try and become the character of Rachel Marin.
That's what I really noticed when I saw, because obviously working with Paulini in the lead up to the auditions, and there were many auditions.
Oh, there was so much.
Sort of went on and on and on.
Months.
Another callback, months later, another callback, was just seeing you inhabit the role.
Yeah.
Like that thing that happens with rehearsal, repetition, where you it starts to sit in you rather than acted. And it was amazing. I mean, it was a kind of like, for that to be your first gig,
I know.
It's massive.
But that's what I say. It was so scary. Like, it was my debut into musical theatre, and it was just like 3 weeks into that, I was like, I don't think I can do it. It's just too much of a big role for me to do. But because I had a great team behind me, I got through it.
And it's always collaborative. I mean, that's the thing. That's what part of the reason we love it. You must have been relieved when it was such a success.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so good to come out, like, to perform, and there were nights where we had like standing ovations, and it felt amazing. I loved every moment of that, and I learned so much. Especially seeing myself when I first started, like even before Idol, I was like so shy. Like me now is so different from who I was before. But I'm a lot older now, and I've experienced so much, and I can't wait to do this with you. This is going to be insane.
Yeah, and then of course you did hair.
Yes, I did hair. I did Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever, of course.
Chess.
I was about to say, do you about to forget chess?
Never. That was insane because I had never. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like it was almost like an operatic kind of
completely.
Like, and I'm not from that
world. It was
not
like in the pop, like we associate Paulini's voice because you are a pop singer.
Before,
we kind of go, that's where you're going to fit. But then, chess is written for those real, legit music theatre,
right?
Big voices,
people who can sing.
Long ago, in someone else's lifetime, someone with my name who looked a lot like me came to know a man and made a promise she only had to say, and that's where she would be. Lately, although the feelings run just as deep, the promise she made has grown impossible to keep because he let their story die, leaving her to wonder why. I don't see myself as taking part at all. Yesterday, the girl that I was fond of finally could see the writing on the wall. Sadly, she realized she left him behind. Sadder than that, she knew he wouldn't even mind. Her life no longer his concern. What to do and where to turn. It's all very well to say she's free. It's now or never. She feels she's facing no choices whatsoever. I could be in someone else's story, in someone else's life, and he could be in mine. I don't see reason to be lonely. I can take my chances further down the line. And if that girl I knew should ask my advice, oh, I wouldn't hesitate. She needn't ask me twice. Go now, I'll tell her that for free. The trouble is the girl is me. The story is the girl is me.
That show was incredible. Like, yeah, I got to work with so many. You.
We had a great time.
We had an amazing time, Tyron. But I got to work with so many other amazing performers on that.
And the thing about that show is everyone knows the music, so they're all. I mean, I suppose but it's the same with the Whitney stuff. Everyone's coming in sort of knowing, going, how do you live up to that in a way?
Exactly. Me. That was me. I was surprised that I got through.
But
And
you did.
Yeah.
With a
did.
Russian
I did.
accent.
With a Russian accent. Oh, that was New Zealand accent.
So tell me. So I want to know. I have a question about how you balance then your, because we just sat down. We're here chatting and finding out about like what each other's been doing lately. And Paulini's just got back last night from a gig in Melbourne. There's a show that she's putting together for Adelaide, and all these. And it's a real mix. And my reference before about the jungle and Eurovision and all the really popular TV stuff as well. Like, how do you pick, or is there a plan, or does it all just jumble about?
Yeah, it all just comes like I think the thing that I've realized is that you have to take every opportunity. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, obviously you have to want to do it, and there's got to be something that excites you about, like, it has to be exciting for you, but you really do have to take every opportunity and when it comes and just jump in and swim. That's basically what I've been doing, really. Like, I don't really have a plan. I know that I love to perform live, but when opportunities are introduced, you just got to take it and run with it.
And is that thing sometimes as well of going, I mean, listening to what you're saying and thinking, sometimes you feel like you're not ready for a challenge, but when you jump in, then you go, I'll have to find my way through that challenge. A bit like what you're saying about Bodyguard, and in their own way, all the musicals are challenging, but then you commit, and then you go, how do I rise to it?
And sometimes you feel like you aren't going to ever get there, but you just keep moving forward.
One foot in front of the other.
Absolutely.
So, let's talk about the festival.
Yes.
Okay, so Paulini's coming to Tasmania.
Hi,
which is great.
I can't wait.
Have you been?
I have been to Tasmania.
To do gigs and stuff?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've done a few gigs there,
Great.
but I've never really spent this much time.
So
I'm excited.
Which is great. You're gonna love Launceston. It's fantastic. It's
I know I will.
So, okay. So I know that you're going to be performing at the Friday night concert, which is called "Here's to the Ladies," which is a tribute to all the great divas.
Yeah.
You got any sense of what we might be in for when we see you there?
Yeah, I do. I would love to perform something that I guess is in the musical theatre world. Like, I want to keep it quite musical theatre.
Yeah, great.
Something recent that I've done.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
And it's one of those songs that I feel like, I don't know, I can, it allows me to really story tell.
Okay, we're not going to give it away.
We're not going to give it
just
away
gonna
though.
come and see. This is going to be like the best
You
of
gotta
Paulini.
come.
All of her bits and pieces. Tell me, you are going to do Songs for New World, which
Yes.
is we're so excited about, because Songs for New World is a series of story songs, but it's written for particular voices and it's written in a particular style. And when I heard it, I was like, well, this is who do you want to hear sing this stuff? It's Paulini.
Aww. I'm excited about it because I've never heard these songs before, and so I listened to it and I was like, it sits in my kind of like, it's quite gospel-y.
It's gospel,
but also musical theatre, and I can't wait to like sing my.
I think one of the things that's really great is when you look at our kind of headliners, like Philip Quast is such a kind of established sort of traditional music theatre person. He's done South Pacific, he's done Les Mis, he's done all those shows, and you know, Chloe is such a kind of showgirl in many ways, and there's this place where music theatre is really asking people now to be able to perform in a whole range of styles. And it's great because it feels like all of your history with singing is in this music somehow.
That's right, and that's why I, you know, like I said, when I listened to it, I was like, this kind of I connect with it. You know, instantly I connected with it, and I love the songs that I'm going to be performing, and I can't, like you said, I cannot wait to meet the other guys who are going to be on the panel, because
which will mostly be in the show, because everybody, we've got like a day, so Pauline will be like, oh, that's that. Hi,
exactly.
Pauline.
Hi. I've heard a lot about you. You know, introduce yourselves, and like, I'm sure we'll all get along.
We'll really be like at the after party going, what was that? Because we have a day to put a musical together.
It's going to be amazing though, because those songs are insane.
Yeah, they are. It's so great. If anyone hasn't heard of Songs for New World, like,
oh man,
go and listen to it. It's so exciting as well to do a musical at the festival in like, and we really are pulling it together from, you know, 3 different states all over the course of the day, pulling it together, and it's going to be very exciting. And tell me, you're going to teach.
I am.
You're going to sort of coach.
I'm going to do it. Yes, I'm not going to teach, but I'm gonna I guess just give my thoughts
Coach,
and
mentor,
I guess try and, you know, help out with. I guess I can only really give advice on where I've come from, and
you've been there as well. I mean, if we think about Australian Idol, you've been the person behind, you know, getting feedback, getting mentored. You know what that's like.
I know what
to
it's
put
like.
yourself on the line,
and it's scary.
Yeah.
And it's not always great, and you know, but I think that's where you learn. You know, you learn when you get all of that negative feedback, and I can't wait to do that for the class, and you know, just if I can help in any way to kind of improve people's performances, or, you know, coming from a gospel kind of I guess a gospel influence and pop. I can help with.
And I think that's so. I mean, one of the things I wanted to do, just so everyone knows, this class Paulini and I are doing together, because it's called acting through style. And because if you think now, if you're going to go and be in a musical in Melbourne right now, you could be in An American in Paris, where you have to sing Gershwin, or you could be in Hamilton, or you could be in Moulin Rouge, and they all have different styles. And what I love about where you've come from is you've sort of done the reverse. You've brought style and had to go, how do I act it?
Yeah.
How do I act it? And I come from acting, and I go, how do we make sure that the style is there but is still telling the story? So between us, we're a little double act.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be great. Like, and you're 100% right. Like, there are times where I've had to like learn musical theatre pieces, and I've had to pull back on the pop stuff and totally take that out, and really focus on telling the story. But when I've had friends who have been in the pop world come and watch that, they're like, wow, that's just an absolutely, like, it's spectacular when you stand there and tell the story through song. Yeah. And I'd love to help, in any way I can. Great. And
so you can get tickets to that.
Yes,
you can
please
get
come.
You can get to all of it.
Please come.
And then Paulini's also going to be performing at the Sound of Musicals concert, which is our big celebration of musical theatre with all of our headliners. And we've just been, this little pad here is like, Paulini and I like running, you could do this, you could do that. But we know there's going to be, Paulini's going to sing 2 songs. Yeah. One from a musical that she has starred in, and another one that she hasn't starred in, but it just felt like a kind of a good fit. It's actually a song that we're talking about from The Lion King. That although you haven't done the show, we were talking about that. I've actually heard you sing it. I've heard you sing it before, and I thought it would be such a great opportunity to hear something that doesn't sound like the traditional
musical theatre. Yeah. I love that. I think
it's Shadowlands, by the way, from The Lion King. I'm going to let that one out because you've got to hear this.
I feel like it will be a great kind of just to show another style of what musical theatre songs could also be like. It's not just one thing, it's everything.
Absolutely, and it's what we want the festival to be about as well. We want everybody to come to feel really included, and be a part of it. And I'm reaching over because I just want to make sure you're still with us. So look, I've got terrible hair. I did Mark
you look great.
Mark Vincent's concert last night, so it was a big night. But it was great. It's so great to see you.
You too.
We're going to see everyone down at the festival. Please come along, and it's just great. You get this kind of I forgot to say. In fact, we forgot to put it here. There's a In Conversation that I'm interviewing you for an hour at lunch. Look at you going.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great flyer. Have a look. You should have a look at the poster. I'll show you.
Awesome.
Which is also an amazing chance to just ask some questions and to say, find out. I mean, most people don't get the chance to have access to people like you. They go, I'd love to sort of be someone like you, but how does that work? And it's different for everyone. So that's a great opportunity to kind of...
I love that stuff, because it really, like, when people meet me for the first time, for example, if I'm in a shopping centre and they're like, oh, I never thought you were like this. I never thought I could just chat to you. And I'm like, why? I'm just not like, I'm exactly like everyone else, but I guess because of the things that you do, people think that you're a certain way, and that's why I love things like that, because people can actually get to know who you are as a person. So
beautiful.
It's good.
I can't wait. I'm so glad you're coming, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
And you are going to be, when you hear this voice live. There you go. Little treat for you all.
I was a bit flat.
Little treat for you all. Okay, we've still got a month. Thank you all. See you at the festival.
Bye, guys.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head. With every star, I could see the